And now we've got to talk about Joe Biden because the president just admitted to blatantly lying to the American people. If you remember, a couple of years ago, Democrats passed this partisan legislation that they called the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, nothing in it actually had anything to do with inflation. It was money for electric vehicle subsidies, IRS funding, new taxes on business, and taxpayer healthcare subsidies. So none of it had anything to do with inflation. And everybody, objectives, the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office, many other sources said it would have no impact on inflation. But Biden and others called it the Inflation Reduction Act and told us it would reduce inflation. But now, 2 years later, he just admitted the quiet part out loud, that they just lied and it was never about inflation. Take a listen.
My investments, through my investments, the most significant climate change law ever. And by the way, it is a $369 billion bill. It's called the, we should have named it what it was, but at any rate.
See, he almost said it's called the Inflation Reduction Act, and then he realized how ridiculous that sounds because it's all about climate change. It was a mini Green New Deal. It had nothing to do with inflation. And I have to stress to you guys what a profound and upsetting insult this is to the American people. We were struggling, and we still are to a lesser extent, though inflation has come down just because of other factors, because of the money supply, because of expiring COVID spending, because of repairing the global supply chain, a bunch of things that have literally nothing to do with the Inflation Reduction Act. But while we were suffering under really high levels of inflation, the average US household faced $11,000 a year in increased expenses. That is insane. That bankrupted people. People were forced to scrimp and save and go without in this country. And during all of that suffering, that Biden and his fellow Democrats decided to take their unrelated climate change, Green New Deal light agenda, their partisan priorities, slap an Inflation Reduction Act name on it, and then use that crisis that they had helped contribute to and weren't actually doing anything to ameliorate, and use that crisis to get their unrelated partisan agenda passed, to give huge subsidies to their friends in the electric vehicle industry, and pass other priorities like IRS funding and other things that were just part of their partisan agenda. I think that is sick. I think that is a disgrace. And now they're just quietly years later just admitting the scam they pulled. And they know that no one will care. They know the media won't call them out. The mainstream media largely went along with the sick facade of the inflation reduction labeling that heck, even Bernie Sanders at the time admitted, I like this bill, but it has nothing to do with inflation, right? It was a scam. And now they're just admitting it. And I don't understand how this is not a national outrage. I find it to be profoundly disgraceful and disgusting. A total dereliction of duty and betrayal of the public, spending trillions of dollars while lying to us about what you're actually doing and exploiting a genuine crisis to ram through a partisan agenda that you otherwise don't think you could have gotten past. It is, to me, sick stuff that I think is unforgivable. But unfortunately, it's kind of policy heavy, it's kind of dense, and it's not the kind of thing a lot of people are paying attention to. So I want to highlight it for you guys because I think you have a right to know. And I think it's a real shame what they've done on this issue and with that legislation. But what do you think? Do you think I'm missing something? Are you not bothered by Biden's deception and the other Democrats kind of exploiting inflation to pass this stuff? Let me know in the comments below.